My name is Steve, 45 years old, Army veteran. Um, the older I get, the less I care, to be honest with you. But also, I feel like you're doing it because you're blaming me for what the guy before me did, the guy before that, the guy before that, and I'm not going to stick. I'm not going to be with somebody who's going to punish me for stuff that I didn't do. The person, I think a hyper independent person can balance, unless everything is their way and only their way.
Mm.
There's
Yeah.
no compromise with them. So they
Well,
have
I
to be
guess
in
well,
control and in charge of the whole situation.
if you're just looking for someone to fit into your plan,
Mm.
then you're hyper independent. You're not looking to blend.
Mm.
You're not looking to be one with somebody. You're just looking to drag somebody along.
AKA waste that person's time.
Mm.
Honestly, I don't know nothing about no list. And I don't do lists. And the thing is, you can you can have the biggest list in the world and that person might meet the whole list requirement or whatever. But if the connection ain't there, that you might as well burn that little funky list up because you don't do nothing. So,
Burn it. Burn it.
Hey.
A lot of times, the reason why relationships don't work is because we choose the wrong people.
I love women that only have their natural hair. I'm not about the weave and all that stuff. I've dated some women that took care of their own hair and everything else, and I was really, really impressed by that. More than a woman that has a bunch of stuff in her head. Now, I'm not gonna hold it against a woman that does weave, but I like the natural hair.
my thing is, if you got this list and you see somebody and you automatically say, nah, that person ain't for me or it doesn't check out. How do you know? Because you ain't even taking time to get to know that person.
Thank you for joining us on today. We are Her Presence. We are so glad that you're constantly visiting us. Please make sure that you are sharing, make sure you're subscribing, send over to all your family, your friends, those that are connected to you. Support us in that way, like us, all that jazz. So today, okay, so if you remember, about maybe 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago,
Somewhere in
we
there.
somewhere around there, we had an episode, Single and Dating, and we had our sisters. Today, we have some brothers, and they are representing not every brother, they just representing their own self and maybe people who can relate to them. And so we are excited and honored to have them with us on today. Um, so at this point, let me first say that I'm Andrea. I always forget to say that. I'm Andrea, and then my sister Melissa and my sister Kelly. And then I'm going to let the gentlemen who are on, I'm going to let them introduce themselves. So either one of you guys can introduce yourself. And then, you know what? Tell us one special thing about yourself. One special thing about yourself. So either one.
You can you can go first, Steve.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
We're being shy.
Okay. Um, my name is Lloyd. 61 years old and retired military. And I guess the special thing about myself is that no matter what is happening in my life, no matter what stress I'm in, I find comedy in it. I find lightness in it so that I keep going instead of letting the situation wear me down.
This is true.
That's all.
This is true. I would agree with that. Okay. And Steve?
My name is Steve, 45 years old, Army veteran. Um, I don't know. The older I get, the less I care. To be honest with you.
We all know how that is. You kind of cross the bridge where it's just like, okay, you know what? I'm not about other people's expectations of me, right?
Not sweating the small stuff.
There you go.
Well, thank you all so much for that. And again, I want to say that there may be another gentleman that'll pop on. We're hoping to have him, but I'm sure if not, then we'll still have a very good conversation on today. Okay, so I want to just ask a couple of questions here, and I believe that we sent over to you guys. You guys have already looked at our single and dating video where we had with our ladies. So I did send that over. Know that you guys sent your video over to your guest. So we may ask some questions about that. I'm sure you guys have some opinions, and so we're excited to hear what you have to say about that. So, but my first question is this: what is your favorite part of being single? What's your favorite part of being single?
I don't really have a favorite part. I'm enjoying my life.
You said you don't have a favorite part, and then what did you say after that?
I just enjoy my life.
Just enjoy your life.
Yeah.
Okay, what about you, Steve?
The same way, I don't really have a favorite. I mean, whether I'm single or with somebody, as long as I'm happy, that's all I care about. You know.
That's right.
Okay, all right. I know you ladies have some questions on you. I'm gonna actually pass the baton around.
Go ahead, Kelly, before we dive. Go ahead, Kelly. I know that what's that burning question? Come on.
Come on with it, Kelly. Come on.
Thank you again. Thank you so much for joining. And my questions are not just for you, but maybe you've had some friends that you've had some conversations about. So I'm just interested in hearing what type of dialogue you guys have. So one of my questions is, how do you feel about hyper independent women? Are they too modern for you? Are they a green flag? Are they a red flag? What's your thoughts?
You want to go first, Steve?
Well, if I'm talking to a hyper independent woman, I'll give it a shot for so long, but if I notice it ain't changing, I just walk away.
Mm.
Now, I actually can agree with that too. That is sending a signal that the woman is a little too rigid and too
Mm,
stubborn and too fixed on her ways.
mm,
Interesting.
But also, I feel like you're doing it because you're blaming me for what the guy before me did, the guy before that, and the guy before that, and I'm not going to stick. I'm not going to be with somebody who's going to punish me for stuff that I didn't do.
So what does hyper independence mean, though?
To you.
Okay.
Well, to
From what I'm saying,
anybody,
hyper
actually. Yeah.
independent. Okay. From what I'm saying, hyper independence means that the woman, because of whatever happened in her life, she is determined to have things a certain way and is not flexible on dealing with having someone in her life. She
Mm,
wants it a certain way. And the only reason I say that is because at one time I was really hyper independent too. And I saw how that was just throwing women off and with women not wanting to be around me. And I had to understand that if I am going to be in a relationship, I gotta take into consideration what impacts her too on how I conduct myself. What could insult her? What could bring questions or any kind of instability to the relationship?
mm. So so how would one balance their independence? Because um, once you get to a certain age, right? You know, around the ages that we are in, how do you are independent, right? There are some things that you may
Yeah.
be set in, right? So how do you anybody, when I say you, anyone,
Mhm.
any one of us, how would someone balance independence with building a connection with someone?
I think that the only way that you can is to be intuitive about the person that you're with. You can't just be fixed in your own ways. You got to pay attention to how they react to how you come across also.
Mm. Would you
Me personally, I don't think a hyper independent person can balance unless everything is their way and only their way.
mm,
There's
Yeah.
no compromise with them. So they
Well,
have
I
to
guess
be in
what
control and in charge of the whole situation.
the only thing that you can really control to me in life is yourself. You shouldn't be trying to control everybody else. You control yourself. That means that that you're able to see where you're out of control and you can make adjustments.
mm,
But most hyper independent people don't listen to that. They don't want to see their faults.
You're
They
right,
just
sir.
they just want to believe what they believe in their minds, and they're not going to budge most of the time. So
That's
if they're not in control of the whole relationship situation, whatever, they're not going to compromise. They're not going to balance, and then the other person's just going to be sitting there miserable and
you're
sick of the
right.
whole situation.
You're so right.
what do you ladies think about that? About
So I think we need to clarify when we say hyper independence, because some women may see that as I'm a professional, I'm educated, I have acquired things and worked hard for things, retired, all these different things. So they may have accumulated a lot of things and in a place in their lives where they would like the company of someone, but does they and we just had this on the show, so they may not need the company of someone. Is that what you're considering as hyper independence? What is I want to make sure we clarify the term. What is your definition of someone who is hyper independent?
They're looking for somebody just to waste that person's time.
mm,
Wow.
Oh,
Mm.
Okay. It means that you're stuck on how you want things to go or how you think things ought to go. And some people cannot separate profession from personal.
true.
And they may become hyper independent because of what's required for their profession, but it bleeds into their personal life too.
Because really what you're saying is how is it that you can be hyper even if legitimately it has morphed into that, where's the room for anybody else if you're hyper independent? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, if you think that you got the better plan and nobody else has a plan or nobody else can fit into your plan, then yeah. If you're just looking for someone to fit into your plan,
Mm,
then you're hyper independent. You're not looking to blend.
mm,
You're not looking to be one with somebody. You're just looking to drag somebody along.
AKA waste that person's time.
mm.
Yes, sir.
He said, let me go on back to saying what I said,
Well, when you
which
said
was
AKA, I got a little nervous.
oh.
I'm just trying to be a little nicer about
too
it, but
funny.
my man is on point. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Too funny.
Do we have
So I have to kind of piggyback off of what Melissa said, because you could be a woman that has been single for some time. You have acquired some things. Melissa mentioned retirement, yada yada. But you're still wanting to be in a relationship. So how can you help that woman if you're interested in her? Relax. Know that she has someone that she can depend on, and it's not just herself anymore, and that you're willing to help her move forward in a healthy relationship? And
I
it
think
can be
that
done. You can finally let go of the rein because I have you. I got you, sis.
she's got to see that for herself. That's the only thing I can do is be a good man. Period. And I've been in relationships before where I tried to prove myself as a good man, but because of the way the woman's mind was fixed, she couldn't see it. And there were a couple of relationships that once they ended, and some time later, all of a sudden they realized, oh, you were a good man. Now I want a second chance. It's like, it's too late. You done your damage.
That's good.
He
That's
said,
good.
it's
Yeah,
too late.
yeah. That's good.
The- to- I get it. I get it. We do have our third guest on. Vaughn, if you could introduce yourself and let us know maybe one special thing about yourself, and then we'll move on.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, great. Well, thanks for having me on the show. Vaughn Showell. I'm in Atlanta. Been there for 30
Hey.
years. Originally from New York City. And yeah, I'm down in Florida right now, down in Miami,
Might be some
where the heat
technical
is.
difficulty.
So, so yeah, so I'm retired Army, and I live in Atlanta now. Financial strategist in Atlanta. So
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We're again just very honored to have all three of you on with us on today here in her presence here in San Antonio, Texas. Um, so I know that you caught the tail end of that, but we're gonna switch to another question. I'm gonna throw it back to one of my co-hosts here.
All right, here we go, gentlemen. So, women, we have this list of exactly what we're looking for in a man. We got this list.
You started it.
And sometimes that list is short, sometimes that list is extensive. I want to know, or we want to know from you, do men have a list? And what are some of the top things on that list?
Hmm.
Help us out.
Okay. Um, through life,
we don't.
I've learned that to shorten that list and stop having such expectations that might not be reached because I can't reach some of them. My biggest thing on my list is just, are you with me? Period. Are you with me? Are we acknowledging each other? Are we adjusting to each other? Or are we just making demands that we think that the other person ought to be? It should never be a one-sided thing. And sometimes, like with the list, you miss things because of one little thing that person might not have on the list. The person might not be patient at the moment where you need somebody to be patient, or you want somebody to be patient, but this person could be really into you. And through communicating and growing together, it could change. It could, some adjustments could be made. I think I'll stop there.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
I actually like that.
Well, let
that
me
answer.
add.
Go ahead, Vaughn.
Let, if I would get info, Lloyd. But I would say overall, in my experience, I don't have a list. I've never had a list. Hey, you gotta be attractive. Number one, I gotta be attracted to you.
What is
You gotta be attracted.
one?
Attraction accounts, the energy, and the synergy. It's got to fit. Now, once we talk about who we are, what
Can I
we're
say
about,
something about that list?
things fall in line. But I
Or
don't
is Vaughn
necessarily
talking?
have a list.
Because I can't
I think
hear.
most men don't necessarily have a list as to you got to have X, Y, and Z. I understand women have a list, but most men who looking for that partner don't have a list. We want somebody that we can rock with, somebody that good energy, somebody that can compliment us in a way that we can have a good good relationship, at least on the foundation that is. So as we grow, we get to know who that person is, and then you take the good with the bad. But a list, they'll push you into a box. And a lot of women do put a list together, and a man's gotta have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, X, Y, all the way down the list. But a lot of times women lose their blessings because something's down that list and they miss out. Well, when it comes to a man who really is about his business, we just want a partner. It's gonna give us peace, love, and happiness. We'll take care of the rest.
Is that a period? We're gonna take care of the rest. Love it, love it, love it. And I
Steve,
think Stephen was trying to. Stephen, did you have some comments on this list or no list at all?
Honestly, I don't know nothing about no list, and I don't do lists. And the thing is, you can have the biggest list in the world, and that person might meet the whole list requirement or whatever. But if the connection ain't there, that you might as well burn that little funky list up because it don't mean nothing.
burn it.
Burn it.
Hey,
That's right. That's right.
That little list don't mean 2 cents. They might meet everything. They might check the list, but that don't mean that person likes you back. Or
Okay.
really, they might check the list, but that don't mean you actually like that person back.
Mhm.
They just check the list that you want. But people can keep looking for that fictional character all they want to.
Mm.
He said
I-
fictional
Okay.
character.
I love the transparency
The-
here.
the-
Come on, tell us how you really feel.
He said the fictional
Character.
and I like the answers because I'm going to say that there's a difference between appearances and truth, right?
True.
There's a difference between that. I can say I'm this, that, and the other, but what is the truth? How are you really? What's the how do you walk? Do you walk in that empowerment, or are you just saying something? And I think that that's really, I like that. I like that.
And what we heard from the women the last time we did this setting, they talked about that representative that's showing up, but the real person, and they think that they have that list, but they're getting a representative and they're not getting the truth of who that individual is. So this is right on point with what the men are saying today.
Yeah.
But how often do we get the truth of what they present?
Oh, uh-oh.
How many screensavers they put up before we really see the
He
truth?
didn't say screensavers.
Says screensavers. The
I ain't never
filters,
heard that
those
one before.
filters.
The filters.
The filters.
Screensavers, filters, it's the same thing.
Or
Yeah.
walls. And our walls. And I think that that's
Yeah.
that segues to a question. I'm gonna let you continue, but the filters, the screensavers, the whatever, the list, the representation,
Mhm.
whether you be, whichever side of the relationship you're on, that does segue into another question I have, but I'm gonna let them finish.
Yeah, I just wanted to. Actually, I have a question to the ladies. What is your definition of communication?
So I'm going to say with communication, it's two ways, right? It has to be um, taking time for one person to actually listen. And I'm talking active listening and then hearing, because you can listen, but are you actually hearing what the person is saying to you? So it's a two-way street. And I believe in open communication, that if I'm with a partner, we should be able to talk about anything. There is nothing left uncovered. We're sharing everything. And I think that is that vulnerable side of me, that vulnerable information that I don't want to share with anyone else, but because you're my partner, I trust you enough for us to have open dialogue and quality communication.
Go
But can you
ahead. Go ahead,
can you
sis.
trust me?
Period. And trust that comes out of that as well.
Yeah.
The transparency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
The
protecting that. And protecting that.
Now that's why I got a problem, because when you are getting to know someone, well, okay, my experiences with women is that they're so guarded about things to when they're first getting to know me or I'm getting to know them, to where I don't get the truth out of them. And me, once again, Andrea can tell you, being my sister, I'm blunt. I'm straight up. From the moment you meet me, you're gonna know who I am. You're gonna know what I'm about. Why can't it be that way with women? Why do you got to be so guarded sometimes? As opposed to really presenting yourself, because really presenting yourself is going to help establish whether or not there is a chance for a relationship, as opposed to like just sneaking stuff in.
Sneaking stuff in.
I am from what I've heard, I think it comes down to this. Many times in relationships, people are carrying around baggage, and
Yeah,
they're
oh, big
carrying
time,
around
big time.
and they're carrying around past hurts, and they've never healed from a previous relationship. They've never healed from uh
Oh,
childhood traumas. It's real. It's real. And
oh, I know, I know.
it
I'm
takes.
laughing because I get you.
So that's why you can't ever get the true person. You're getting that representative because they don't trust that I can give you my heart and that I can share with you intimate details so you can truly understand who I am.
And maybe you can receive it
So
and
Okay,
not judge.
basically, the new person has to be punished for the past.
thank you. But part of the reason why I'm even asking that question is based on what you just said. Now, if you, I'm still single because I've been through some crap. Okay,
Yeah.
I've been through some past hurts. I've been through some really crazy stuff. But the one thing I've learned about it is if I'm gonna get into another relationship, I either gotta wait until I'm clear of that, or I gotta dump it.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
gotta dump it if I
Yeah.
want to be in a relationship. I cannot judge another person by what happened to me before. I gotta give them a chance to show if they're gonna do something.
Right.
So if I'm hiding stuff, I'm not giving them a full chance. At least that's my perspective of it.
Vaughn, did you have a
But
comment?
yeah, I think there are levels to relationships. Number one, there are levels to everything. Depending on where you are in your life, it's been my experience, and I'm 50, I'll be 59 in August. So I've been married twice, uh, been in the military. I've lived in many places. I've had many field experiences in my lifetime, and I can tell you that the way you think in your 20s and 30s, not the way you think in
Is
your
Vaughn
40s and
talking?
50s. So
Fifties.
when it comes to
Okay, I can't hear him.
having a conversation about what women want and your agendas, your past, your traumas, when we're young, we don't think about that stuff. We just jump right in, and we like what we like, and we make it work. As we've gotten older, in our 40s and 50s, we take into consideration, okay, how can we make this work? We've had previous relationships that didn't work, and this is why. So now I need to educate myself. I need to be grounded. I need to be in a mental space to be able to say, you know what? I'm not perfect. Who I choose to be with is not going to be perfect. We've got to have a foundation of being able to communicate, be vulnerable with each other, and grow. But when you first go into choosing somebody, a lot of times the reason why relationships don't work is because we choose the wrong people. We choose the wrong person for whatever reason. And going back to your list, people choose, women choose based on the list. And then they get into it and they realize he can't communicate, he's got trauma, you got this, you got that. And then you don't have the self discipline to navigate that because it's not what you wanted, so you're out. And some men do the same thing. But as we mature and get older, that's why I say there are levels to when you're dating and your thought processes. The more mature you are, the more you understand how to pour into a relationship. We all have traumas. We all have past. And I always say that our parents, they did the best they could with us. They didn't give us all the tools that we needed, but they did the best that they can with what they had. So it's up to us through osmosis to learn how to survive in this world, to include relationships. Not many people in my age group were taught how to love, were raised as to how to have a relationship, how to court a I don't know a woman, how to court a man, how to. Not many people have done that. If those who have done that, that's great. But overall, we've just been, we're just how many years removed from slavery, how many years we moved from the Civil Rights Act. Like our parents struggle. We've been struggling, but we want relationships to give us hope and move forward. When it comes to having that relationship with the opposite sex, we got to really take time out to really improve ourselves and to be able to pull the other person up by the bootstraps and be vulnerable with them and help them through their situation. So, depending on where you are in your life will dictate how you feel about handling some of those traumas. Make sense?
That makes
Absolutely.
sense.
Absolutely.
That makes sense. So if I could, so I realize I'm married, but I wanted to chime in on this. Um, and I'm just gonna reach back to the question about communication. Um, Communication is just that is just say something. And I feel like even in the beginning of a relationship, we there should not be like when you meet someone, um, we're automatically exclusive or I automatically owe you something. Can we just enjoy today? And I think that like, can we just enjoy today? Today, I'm going to be honest about how I feel today. Today, this is good. Today, this feels good. Today, I had fun. Last night was really good. We went here, here, and here, whatever the case may be. When I'm with this person, I feel good. And that is honesty, right? I feel like if there is a question that comes about or a situation that it segues into a situation that is uncomfortable for either side, I still feel like communication, that's an uncomfortable area for me. I am not ready to go there. I think that that's honesty. There's no sneaking around. I'm not saying that, but there's no sneaking around there. There's in that I'm being transparent. I'm saying that this is an area I'm not ready. I don't feel safe enough yet. And I feel like if we're all grown, every both sides can understand, okay, I get that and I respect that. And at some point, and I believe somebody said, I think it was either Stephen or Lloyd, there becomes this customized, I say that all the time, this customized relationship. Then people began to feel safe enough to be more transparent. But I feel like not being transparent with some areas does not mean that I'm not saying that this is what you guys are saying. Does not mean that I'm being dishonest or sneaking. It's just, okay.
So
Go
can I
ahead.
ask you something?
Mhm.
So are these like what you would call boundaries?
I feel like that there are boundaries. Every relationship should have boundaries. Whether it
Okay.
be you having a relationship with an individual, or I mean, we're dating, or boundaries with mom and dad, boundaries with child and parent, boundaries. Every relationship should have has
But that's
boundaries. A healthy relationship.
but that's the thing. Okay, so when a woman wants her boundaries, that's fine. That respect that. But why is it when a man has boundaries, he's being accused of something?
I feel like that is a perception. Okay. Um. So the issue is not the the thing that is happening. The issue is the way we're looking at it. So I have to say that. Um, so if I feel like that your question is on both sides. I feel like I could hear that same question, what you said, a woman would say that. Like, why
Yeah.
is it that, but when I have issues is a problem. I, I think that that can be on either side. I think that there also are people who have matured. And when you have a boundary, they respect that boundary. It may not feel good. I feel like sometimes that might even come out. But I also feel like a part of communication is saying that doesn't feel good. I mean, I get it. And had you should have your boundaries and I respect that. It just didn't feel good. And I just want to And and if I'm saying that to you, if I'm a single person and I'm saying that to you, that didn't feel good, I feel like you should also respect that too. Like, okay, yeah, I understand it didn't feel good, but I got this boundary, so.
But I think that's the part of communication, right? We need to be able to discuss the boundary and why is it a boundary? Let's dig into that. Don't necessarily have to go into details about the actual thing, but I need to know why we can't discuss certain things. What is that? And if we're not in a space and in a place that we can discuss these things, then we need to decide how much further we want to go in this relationship. So,
That is, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
oh
cut
no,
you off.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
No, that is basically what I'm talking about. I may come off a little harsh and everything, but
Not at all.
No,
Not at all.
no,
I'm talking about communicate to me when things are uncomfortable.
right.
You may not be able to detail it to me, but if it's uncomfortable, let me know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and let's work from there. Don't play it off. Don't dance around it because then well, with me, I'm a little I pay attention. I
Right.
pay attention to a lot of things. I
Mm-hmm.
pay attention, especially when I'm dealing with a woman. I pay attention to know when she's comfortable. I pay attention to know when she's tense and when things are bothering her. And the only thing I'm looking for is just the verbiage to help me work with you, if that
Mm-hmm.
makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. Help facilitate this.
Yeah.
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 And Vaughn,
Yeah.
I think Vaughn was about this, or Steve, I can't remember.
I think it was Vaughn.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can't hear Vaughn, so y'all might have to repeat some of the stuff he says
Okay, we got you.
You can't hear Vaughn.
Say it again.
at all.
Vaughn,
Yeah, I can hear.
I think you had a comment.
Yes. Talking about boundaries, and Melissa made a comment that, the boundaries are there, and if it's not gonna work, then let me know where this relationship is going. I think that the perspective of a relationship is created and developed by your childhood habits, your childhood relationships. And there are a lot of people who are successful in this world in their jobs. They're very successful in other aspects of life, but their relationships are not as successful. But I think if people were to focus on put the time into the relationship, that's what they do in their job, and respect their boss, respect their spouse, whether we respect their boss, I think there'd be a lot more healthy relationships. Um, even with the boundaries, feeling comfortable to talk about boundaries with your partner is important, but having a safe space to understand why that boundary is, and then being able to embrace those boundaries and embrace the reason as to why those boundaries are there. Depending on how long you're in the relationship, when this conversation arises, whether you're in the situation for a year or 10 years, you got to be able or want to be able to grow and learn how to handle those boundaries, how to communicate, how to be sensitive, how to nurture the relationship, how to nurture the conversation so that you can continue that conversation. Because with your boss at work, you have standards, you have evaluations, you have conversations. But you're going to be there because you value your job, you value your check, so you can do whatever you can to make it work. It should be the same thing in the relationship. If you value where you are in your space, regardless of what the shortcomings are, you're gonna work. You're gonna put in the work and create that foundation of vulnerability and a space to have those conversations. And if you don't know how to, that's where therapy comes into play. That's where counseling comes into play. That's where reading comes into play. You can self improve on a lot of areas. You can have 3 degrees. You can make $300,000 a year, but that doesn't mean you're the best in relationships with the individual. You still got to work at it. You still got to put in the time, put in the work, and get the knowledge to be as successful in your relationship as you are in your job.
Mm.
And Vaughn, I agree with you. I don't disagree with you in any point of what you said. I'm talking early on in the relationship because I think there's phases in relationships and how the relationships develop, grow, and increase in their intimacy, increase in their vulnerability. If you're noticing those things early on with an individual who is not willing to put the work in with you, they constantly have these boundaries, or they constantly have things that you can't touch. We can't go there. Then you have to make a decision. Is this someone that can potentially be a life partner? Is this someone that I can grow with? Or is this person in a place that they are so emotionally damaged that they are just not going to be the best person for me? So that's what I'm saying in the sense of
Mhm.
those boundaries and being
Yeah.
vulnerable.
I think it's best to just walk
Yeah.
away.
Yeah, you're right. The key not willing, because the key you said not willing, right? You gotta be willing.
Yes.
You gotta be willing to put in the work.
And the other thing I had to learn from a couple of relationships I was in is that it doesn't matter how much you love the person. If the person is not loving you,
Mm,
you gotta you gotta bounce. You gotta
Unrequited
protect yourself.
love, whatever
yes.
it's called.
Mhm.
I think Stephen, you had a comment, and then I know Kelly, she had a couple of questions also. But
No,
Stephen, go
I
ahead.
just
Sorry.
think it's best to walk away.
Hmm.
That's all I was saying. I just think it's best to just walk away. Don't look back.
Hmm. Because at that time, that person is not ready, as far
Right.
as you're concerned. Yeah, get it.
Right. No second chances.
Yeah, I don't think it's as far as I'm concerned. I think they proved the fact that they're not ready.
Go ahead, Kelly. Go ahead, Kelly.
I'm gonna change the
Hey.
tone just a little bit. Because now I'm interested. I've heard some of your concerns with women. So now I want to find out, on a date, on the first date,
Mhm.
what can a woman say or do on that first date that makes you want to have a second with her?
Ooh, good question. Let me get closer so I
I
can
know.
look. So I can, you're supposed to say so I can hear, so I can see.
So I can understand.
No, listen, you're the damaged women, but what were the women that brought you on to a second, third, fourth, or continuous date or relationship?
The only thing I can say is that she has to be herself.
Mhm.
That's going to determine whether or not I want a second, third, or fourth date. She just has to be herself.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
It could look like anything. It could look like she's uptight. It could look like she's guarded. It could look like she's into me and and want more from me.
Just not
It could
fake.
look like she just here collecting a free meal. I mean, hey,
Okay.
Okay. What about you, Steve?
I think if whether we're driving to where we're driving to and back, if we're talking to each other like we the best of friends, that's a second date right there.
All right, I like that.
And we can laugh and we you know, if we need to get serious about something, it's cool. But we're enjoying each other's company and presence the whole time. Like
All
I
right.
think second, third, fourth, whatever, that's what it's all about.
What about you,
I
Vaughn?
guess that's what I'm saying, but I like the way he put it.
Right. I got you. What about you, Vaughn? Oh, is he still there?
He's on mute. He's on mute.
You may be muted, Vaughn.
Okay, there we go. I got
Mhm.
you. What will make me want to go on a second or third date with the woman? What did was her energy, her smile, her ability to be herself, to be open, to be free, to be non-judgmental, and to be able to express that she's interested in another opportunity to get to know me. So that communication, the energy is important, and the energy could be verbal, could be nonverbal, it can be eye contact, But as long as conversation's organic, we're having a good time, and we can end the night laughing and cackling and a hug, that deserves a second date.
Mm.
Good deal.
Good answers.
Mhm.
What about you, Kelly?
What,
Second date.
I wasn't ready for that question. I actually have to agree with the men. Being yourself, being organic. listening to what I have to say as well as I'm listening to what you have to say. Um, I like easy. I don't like the complexities sometimes of even that first date, but communication is very important to me as well. I like to do more listening sometimes than talking because I really, if I'm interested in that person, I really want to get to know them, and not it being superficial, or I don't want you to feel you have to impress me because that, you can kind of see through some of that stuff. But just how you make me feel and the things that we can relate to.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, I'm okay with some coffee. I'm okay with us going, to a park or to a museum or something. It doesn't have to be so, tight. But nice, easy flow. That's really what's important to me.
That's good stuff.
Thank
Good
you.
stuff.
I agree.
Now,
I agree.
Cool. Did you have another question?
I'm gonna pass mine over
Okay.
to Melissa. I do, but
All right.
I'm gonna wait.
So someone said, I can't remember who said it, but they said in order for you to even, there's not a list, but you have to be instantly attracted to that individual.
Oh,
If
yeah, I
you're
heard
going
that.
to date them, if you're gonna want the second date, whatever, there has to be an attraction. The ladies would like to know, is there a hairstyle
Uh-oh.
that you enjoy more than others? Like you see the woman in this hairstyle and you're like, that's her,
Too
that's
funny.
it. Look,
Too funny.
stop the press. That's her. Tell us, come on, tell us.
I
The
hear-
ladies want to know. The ladies want to know.
That was my statement in our last. That was my statement in the last one.
Yes.
So let me hear this one.
A certain look. What is it that, you know?
What kind of wigs? Oh, I'm sorry.
No wigs. No wigs.
you really want to know?
We really want to. The women want to know.
Okay.
The women want to know.
I'm speaking for me.
Yeah.
I love women that only have their natural hair. I'm not about the weave and all that stuff. I've dated some women that took care of their own hair and everything else, and I was really, really impressed by that more than a woman that has a bunch of stuff in her head. Now, I'm not going to hold it against a woman that wears weave, but I like the natural hair.
Okay. All right.
Woo-hoo.
Who's next? Come on.
I did. I second that. I second. We love natural hair. You can come with
Guess
it
I'm
with a
alone.
point with the pull back in the ponytail. I'm good on that.
What if you don't have enough for a ponytail?
Natural hair. Yes.
Somebody
Yeah.
said, well, what
The
if you don't
wig.
have enough for a ponytail?
Hey,
Look back, it's
work
fine
it.
too. Look back. Look back, it's fine.
Figure out what you're doing wrong and get it straight.
Okay.
Hey, the bob is fine. You can do a bob. It can be faded. As long as it's natural.
I'm not worried about the connection.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
more
we're
worried about. I'm more concerned about whether or not we can click
Mm-hmm.
than I am
Our
about
hairstyle.
having eye candy.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. All right.
Sounds good.
Steven, what you got for us?
I don't really think about stuff like that, to be honest with you.
Okay. All right.
Cool.
And that's good to know too.
Because some of us work out, and some of
That
us do
part.
have a lot of hair, and it's thick. But wigs are okay too.
Handle your business. Handle your business.
What and because when you said it, okay. So first of all, I appreciate all because I
Great answers.
do understand that um um hair does mean something to some people. When we talked about, we originally said something about lists. I'm just gonna say, folks said it didn't have lists, but I don't know how fair it is to say you don't, because I think there is something things that attract you. You know what I'm saying? And
That's a list.
that's just being honest, right?
Yeah.
So some people, hey, I like long hair, or I like short. It don't matter to me, or
Natural.
I want natural. I will say what Kelly was saying, you know, you could have natural hair, but because you're working out, let me tell you something.
Tried
Your
it.
hair might come out like you just got off the boat. I'm just saying. So you want to keep it braided and just, looking still good. But or just
Well,
I'm just saying. We don't have to keep just saying.
okay. I think that society put too much
Mhm.
emphasis
I
on
agree.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because one thing that I've realized about me, okay, and I'm gonna say about me, if I'm attracted to a woman, it's not as much. Well, it's not more on her appearance as it is on how we interact.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Mm.
I agree.
Her interaction could draw me to her, and she could be whatever shape or size.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
It's just that interaction that would draw me to her.
Yeah.
And it's everything that goes on beyond that that will keep me drawn to her.
Mm-hmm.
Because I still remember a certain lady that I met, and she was just as beautiful as ever, looked like a straight up doggone model. And we were having a good conversation, and all of a sudden she lit a cigarette,
Oh,
and I was done.
yeah.
Just
Mhm.
because she smoked, I was done with her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Case in point.
So I guess that's just my way of saying love is blind. It may take a minute to get to that point, but love is blind.
Mm-hmm. True
My
love.
thing is, if you got this list and you see somebody and you automatically say, "Nah, that person ain't for me," or doesn't check out. How do you know? Because you ain't even taking time to get to know that person.
True.
My man.
This is good.
So you done sit there and passed up another good person that could have been in your life forever because of your so-called standards
Mm-hmm.
that are really just dumb to me. I'm just gonna be honest with
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I like this dude. I like this dude.
you. Just being honest. So you'll
Straight
pass
up.
up by the physical, the first sight of that person, and you don't you might that person might be dirty and got some dirty clothes on. You'd be like, oh, he probably broke or he or she whatever,
There you go.
and you don't know that person might have a $200,000 job, but it involves them getting dirty all the time,
Mhm.
This is true.
or that person might be a doctor and something just happened. You just don't know. But what I'm
Mm.
saying is, so many people just want to look at somebody and say no, and don't even want to find out who that person is. I can just tell that person ain't doing well in life.
Mm.
And then all of a sudden you see that person a week later, they driving a brand new vehicle, period. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they clean as all outdoors, but you assume by the first time you saw them that, oh, that person ain't for me. That person don't meet my standards.
It makes sense.
How do you know?
Right.
It makes
Right.
sense.
And the sad thing is,
That
they're
person
not
that might
meeting
match
that
my
standard.
list. How do you know? You don't even know that person. Like I told a young lady one time years ago, she said when she's in the gym, she doesn't like it if a guy tries to talk to her. And I told her, I said, what if that's the only place the guy sees you at?
Mm. Mhm.
And he really likes you, but you wanna put this guard up like it's so wrong for somebody to try and talk to somebody at the gym. But what if that person really likes you and they don't know any way else to get a hold of you?
Or they
So
just
you
like what they
automatically get
see.
defensive with it.
Yeah.
The
Right.
gym.
Good point. Good point.
So I'm just saying.
That's good.
Mhm.
That's good.
Yeah,
Me
it is.
personally, when I was dating, back in the day, I'm just gonna say you had, and I was sharing this with Lloyd the other day. Listen, you couldn't have a mess up grill. That's it. Other than that, I mean, I don't know how that's gonna change in the next couple of weeks. Your grill got to be, but anyway.
What mine was
Digress.
grill and body odor. And
Oh.
body odor. Hygiene.
But now, that's a dangerous point right
Uh-oh, dangerous.
there. Yeah, it's dangerous because I'm going back to what Steve said before.
Wait, what's the
Because
dangerous? I'm sorry. You said that. So what's that?
I'm getting to it. I'm getting to
Okay.
it. I'm getting to it. You looking at what's happening now, but you don't know. You don't see the full picture. You just see what is happening at that point and what it is at that point. And in some cases, I gotta tell you, you could be the reason why that dude changed. You could be the reason why that dude step up, as opposed to like staying at the point he's at. There are times that that women can be so judgmental, and men can too,
Mhm.
and they miss that love of their life because in some cases you will be the fuel that fires them up to want to step up, to want to progress, to want to be better, to want to do things a whole different way,
And vice versa. I
Mhm.
agree.
Mhm.
and vice versa. Yeah.
So I've got another quick question. Let me throw it out there. So the age ranges of everyone that we've been introduced 45, 50s, 59, 60s,
61.
61, thank you. Um, what age range are you dating in right now?
Oh,
So are
yes.
you
Good question.
dating younger? Are you dating older? What is your range, or is there a range?
There,
My age range. I don't like young women.
So
there's really no
so
age range.
45 and up, Stephen, or
Yes, I don't like young women. I mean, maybe 40 and up, but like
okay.
I have a 21-year-old daughter. There's no way on God's green earth I'm dating somebody my daughter's age. And I have nothing in common with young women because I have a don't care attitude. So, that's something that I don't think young women would want to get into with me about because I hurt people's feelings and I don't care. So
But older
I
women is
prefer,
okay.
yes, I prefer a mature woman my age or older, like I said, 40s. But no, I'm not dating no young girl. You can get that.
Well, I'm a little different. Um, Two of my biggest disappointments came from women that were older than me.
Hmm.
One was 2 years older, one was 5 years older. They weren't, and they turned out not to be mature. I'm more looking for the maturity than anything else. Like, yeah, when you talk about 21, 25, yeah, I get you on that. But I'm looking for somebody that is stable, I guess you could say, or I don't know any other word to use. I'm looking for someone that's stable enough to really want to connect with me.
Mm.
And once again, I had I have two ex fiancés, and both of them were older than me, and I was more stable than them. So I'm looking for stability more than I am looking at the age.
Okay.
Sounds good. Vaughn, did you have a comment? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I didn't see. Okay. Any other questions from I do have one last question. I know we're gonna start winding down here. Um, so interracial relationships. I'm just gonna and stop tape.
You went to
Go.
Robot Voice.
Oh, I'm sorry. Interracial relationships. Your thoughts?
I have nothing.
I go ahead, Steve. Go ahead.
I got nothing against them. Whoever you want to
Okay.
be with, be with who you want to be with.
I'm the same way. I've seen crazy in all races when it comes to women.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Grace, have you seen good in all races?
Okay. All right.
Anything good?
Let me go back. Let me rewind. I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly in
Okay.
all races of women.
Okay. All right.
I'm
Vaughn,
sorry.
no problem. Just messing with you. I'm back. Oh, I'm about to go into the song. Vaughn, we were asking a couple of questions. One was interracial relationships, your thoughts. And then,
Age ranges. Are you at your age? What age range were you looking to date in? If was it younger, older, your age? Just give us an idea.
Okay. So interracial first. I'm opposed to interracial for numerous reasons. Culturally, um, years ago I dated a white girl from Cincinnati. and regardless of how fine she was, just the culture is not the same. And I think into dating somebody who's the opposite race, you got to take that into consideration because you got to be able to be in sync and align the thought processes, the energies, and regardless of how much you love each other, I think that there's going to be, especially when children are involved, going to have some identity crisis going on. But the whole interview, that's a whole conversation that we can have on another topic. But I'm not for interracial relationships for that matter. Not that you can't love somebody else, but long term, I don't think that's the best move. Um, Dating range when I was dating, 10 years or lower, and 3 years older, maybe, but pretty much younger for the most part.
Okay. Good stuff.
Well, thank y'all so much for blessing us with your presence and your comments and being just really transparent. It has been insightful. It causes, I do believe, people to just really think about where they stand, period. So thank you so much for that. And thank all of you guys who joined us on today and are listening to our recording. If you heard something today where you actually have your own comment and you you feel differently, make sure that you message us. We want to really hear from you. Make sure you share this episode. Share it in your barbershops. Share it in your salons and get a robust conversation going. And then message us about what were some of the things that you guys talked about. What did it morph into? What were the tangents? We really want to hear from you. So again, thank you so much, everyone. Again, we are Her Presence. I'm Andrea. We have Melissa.
Woo-hoo. Thank you.
We have Kelly. All right. See you guys later.
Thank you.
Thanks again, guys. Awesome.
Hey, thanks for having me. See you next
Thank
time. Thank
you.
you.
Appreciate you.
Ladies, it was a pleasure.
It was a pleasure as well.